So, a really warm welcome, everyone, to our Talk Room series of podcasts, Being Your Best Self. And for those people that haven't seen any of our previous podcasts, I'd like to introduce the co presenter, Wendy. Wendy is a highly experienced CBT therapist and coach who's worked in mental health and well-being for well over 30 years now. So welcome, Wendy.
Thank you, Ian, and welcome to you as well. And for those who don't know Ian, Ian is a senior accredited member of the National Counselling Society and the founder of Hope Therapy and Counselling Services, which is a well-known counselling practice that operates through the south of England. So, warm welcome to you, Ian.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. So, these podcasts look at the question of how to be your best self. We do that by looking at the question of mental health and well-being, but we also try to make it relevant to the times that we live in. And today we're going to be talking about a really interesting subject called visualization techniques. So, what techniques are useful and how we can use them. So, Wendy, can you just tell us a little bit more about the benefits of visualization?
Certainly, Ian. So the brain works through making connections and neural pathways, it's called. So the problem is that our imagination is so powerful, but often we focus on the worst case scenarios. So we tend to think in images, so that when we tend to focus on situations that cause us distress, there is the image there, and that's what creates a negative feeling. And then we worry about these areas, and then it just strengthens the negative neural pathways. So it becomes like a vicious circle, and we think about it, we see it, and it creates this negative neural pathway. So visualization is a really powerful tool that can help reduce anxiety and stress by invoking positive feelings, promoting relaxation, and redirecting the mind away from these sort of negative anxious thoughts. So I think you wanted to say a couple of examples. So one way that visualization can help us, it can have a really calming effect. It can transport us to situations where we visualize a place of tranquility, therefore simply reducing the feelings of stress and anxiety. You can also visualize yourself mastering situations. So imagine you're there managing and coping with a particularly stressful situation, doing it really, really well, to the best of your ability. And that can actually, by visualizing it, can actually help you to enhance dealing with it in reality. You can promote your self image. Um, Say you've got an image of being weak, you can therefore imagine yourself being strong in a situation, and that again recreates the remembering that you are strong, because you remind yourself of all the memories that you've had of you being strong. So you can just sort of practice that in difficult situations. Visualization can also help improve our focus by concentrating on positive imagery. You can redirect your focus from negative or distressing thoughts. Another example of how visualization can help you is with motivation. So, if you actually visualize yourself through successful outcomes, really see the end of a project that you're doing, that can really help to boost your motivation to actually achieve your goals, especially when focusing on difficult things that you're doing. Physical relaxation. Visualization can help you to increase the feelings of relaxation and calmness and well-being by focusing on particular images there. It can also help us with emotional regulation. It can help us to practice and visualize emotional regulation skills, allowing ourselves to build more resilience and better emotional responses over time. Um, it's also very good for visualizing coping. So you can actually visualize a very specific coping skill to divert from negative attention or distressing situations. And the last one it's really good for is goal setting and achievement. So by identifying clear goals and pathways and actually seeing each step, visualizing each step as you go along and celebrating its achievement can really help us to get sort of clarification and a successful outcome in goal setting. So there's a few examples there for you, Ian.
That's absolutely fascinating, Wendy. Lots and lots of ideas in there. So I guess I'm wondering, is there a best way to go about trying to visualize?
Mm. Yeah, very good question, Ian. Thanks for that. Yeah, so there's lots of different ways you can visualize, and I just want to give a couple of examples that hopefully people will find useful. So one which people might know a lot about already, but I thought it's worth mentioning. It's called guided imagery. So this usually involves either listening to a pre-recorded script, or if you have a counselor or therapist, they can guide you through. And a common one to use is a really peaceful and calming situation, one which doesn't have any negativity in it as well. That's quite important. And the real benefit of this is if you do it with a therapist or a counselor, it can be very specific to your individual needs. So, some successful social interaction or someone dealing with social anxiety to actually imagine coping. So, going to a party and really going through a script where you actually imagine yourself at the party and going through all the things that you do well, and that can really help with your confidence. Another one that people might know about, but it's worth mentioning, is called mindfulness meditation. So, although meditation, you can meditate without actually using visualization, it can be really useful to incorporate techniques of visualization in that as well. Um, and meditation, as you know, encourages present moment awareness. But it can be really, really helpful, say, to visualize just focusing on a tree. If you think about it nowadays, you can look at a tree and look at all the different colors and all the hues and look at the bark of a tree, and maybe there's flowers or fruit there or berries even. And just noticing that can be a really good sort of meditation that you can do. Another one you can do is combining visualization with progressive muscular relaxation. So, as you do your tense and release, you relax different muscle groups, and then you can incorporate calming visuals like relaxing on the sea or something like that, or just being in a warm bath, whatever it is that actually makes you feel sort of more calm and relaxed. Or you can have a different visualization for when you're, say, tensing your muscles to ones where you're releasing your muscles as well. So you can breathe in calm, say, and let out stress, and have an image of calm, and letting out stress can also be an image as well. It can be a color or a specific image. So that's another example. Another one is if people aren't very good at actually imagining yourself visualizing, you can use vision boards. So this is where you actually just create a board. It can be an ordinary piece of cardboard or something, and create images that represent your personal goals or what you desire. And you can keep that up in your bedroom, and you can look at that every day, and it can really help reinforce what it is that you want to gain some clarity as what's important in your life. And you can either do your drawings, or you can put photos up there, or cut things out from magazines. So that's a really, really good way of doing that. And you can change it as well. When you've achieved your goal there, you can then add another one there as well. So that's a very, very good way of encouraging visualization. Another way, if you're not very good at, again, using your imagination, you can try drawing or art therapy. I have so many people that I've worked with who absolutely love the creative expression. And again, you don't have to be good at it. It's not about being good at it. It's just about expressing yourself with a drawing or art therapy as well. So that can be a very good way of expressing yourself, your goals, your emotions, or your desired outcomes. Another one that people haven't heard about, which I think is really interesting, is called daydreaming with a purpose. So what we do, we're actually quite good at daydreaming, and that can be very pleasant as well. But you can actually sort of take breaks and do intentional daydreaming, and think about positive scenarios that can be beneficial. So this could be just imagining going home in the evening, or being excited about a desired future event, or even going back in the past and remembering positive, vivid detail. And that could be really nice, just to sort of relaxing in the evening and just allowing your mind to wander to something really happy or exciting or beneficial. It's a really, really nice one to do. And then the last one is called affirmation visualization. So this is where you have an affirmation, which is a saying like, so for example, I can cope with all things would be an example of a positive affirmation. And then you can add an image to that as well. So again, you can have a mental image or a photo of you coping with a particular situation. And that visualization just reinforces that affirmation together. So it's actually stronger. Another technique to remember, it's really helpful if you actually engage in all your senses, to really immerse yourself in the experience. So, for example, a very common one that people love doing is visualizing yourself a calm beach. But not only are you visualizing it, you're imagining the sound of the waves, the feel of the sun on your skin, the scent of the sea, and the taste of salt in the air can actually really enhance that experience. Um, it's very good if you do the positive ones on your own. It can be useful if you're actually doing something a bit more challenging. This might be best done with a professional, say a counselor or therapist, to actually help build some coping techniques with you.
Mm. I'm absolutely loving those ideas. I feel really quite inspired by that. I wonder if you can give us some in amongst all of those ideas, lots and lots of things going around in my head. But I wonder whether you can just give me some slightly more tangible, more specific examples of what to visualize.
Mm. Okay, yeah, very good question, Ian. Very good question. So again, one that is fairly common, but I think it's a really good one to start with, is you visualize a place where you feel safe. And this it can work better if it is real, but some people don't have a place which is a safe place real. So you can also imagine or create your own space exactly how you want it as well. And it's really important you feel completely safe and relaxed. As before, you could choose a lovely, calm beach where you've been on holiday. One of my favorites is imagining being in a tranquil forest, or even a room where you feel really warm and cozy. And by immersing yourself in this mentally, your body will start to respond and feel the feelings of relaxation and the feeling of safety the place signifies. Another one I like doing, which is quite an easy one to do. So I think that's good that if you're stressed and you don't want to do a complicated visualization of a beach or something like that, you can just simply breathe in and imagine a calming color like blue or green. Just imagine it filling your body. And as you breathe out, you can visualize, for example, a dark cloud of stress and tension leaving your body. And then you breathe in the color, say blue or green, whatever color you want to choose. And then you carry on breathing in the blue and green, and then you breathe out the dark cloud of stress and tension. So this can be really good for relaxation there. This one is quite good for protecting yourself if you feel you're in a stressful situation or got a difficulty at work. It's called energy shield visualization. So this is where you can picture some kind of energy shield around you. It could be anything you want. It could be a bubble, a force field, a plate of armor, whatever suits you. And this shield protects you from external stresses and negativities. You can also be very creative. Say you can visualize negativity bouncing off your shield, further empowering you to face challenging situations. And that would be very good if you've got somebody difficult at work that you're working with, like an over demanding boss or whatever. Just sort of imagine that shield around you. It's quite a nice fun one to do. Another one is called balloon release visualization. So this is where you imagine your worries, sort of put them into a balloon, and then one by one, just release these balloons slowly into the sky. Watch them as they drift further away, symbolizing the release of your anxieties and stresses. That's a lovely one to do as well. One of my favorites is called flowing stream visualization. And what I like about this one is if you enjoy woods or forests, you can actually walk through the forest. So you're combining your calm, relaxing place by doing that. And then just sitting down just gently and just by a flowing stream. And you can listen to the trickling of the water as you go, and you can smell the trees and things like that. But here you put every leaf that passes you by represents a worry or a stressful thought. And you simply just watch as these leaves naturally float away, taking away the stress, the thought with you as you go along, and just see them go further and further away down the stream. So that's one of my favorites. Another one I like is called light healing visualization. And when I've done this with people I support, this is often a favorite as well. So you imagine a light, bright, healing light. You choose the color, often white or golden is actually preferred, but it's entirely up to you what your color is. You imagine it descending from above, and the light comes down, it touches the top of your head and slowly moves down, healing and relaxing every part of your body as it touches. And what I like about this one is it can create calming energy, it can create more energetic type of feelings as well. And what I really, really like about this is you can have this in abundance. So you can just imagine this amazing healing light coming from above and having it in abundance as much as you want, as much as you need. And people love that. So another one is called stress drain visualization. And here is where you imagine your stress as water in a bath. And you imagine pulling the plug and watching the water, your stress, swirling down the drain, leaving you feeling so much more lighter and relaxed. So if you're into baths, that's another one you can imagine. Okay. This is really, if you like trees or you're into nature, you might like this one. This is called a growing tree visualization. Here, you imagine yourself as a tree, your favorite tree, the tree that you really love. And there you can feel your feet deep rooted into the earth, drawing up strength and stability. You can visualize your body as a strong trunk and your thoughts as branches, reaching out but firmly anchored to your strong foundation. So I like that again. If you like trees, you might like this one. This is another one, boxing up visualization. This is particularly good if you're going through a bad time or trauma. So in this one, you visualize a box in front of you. Here you place all your worries, anxieties, and fears into this box. And once they're all inside, you close the box and lock it. And you put it on a shelf, put it away. You can then choose to open it later on when you're ready to face them, or just leave them there. And I love that one. I think that works really, really well. Again, just a few more I've got. So another one is called ocean wave visualization. Imagine yourself sitting at the edge of the ocean. You visualize yourself seeing waves, which represents challenges and stresses, coming towards you. But as they reach you, they merely wash over your feet and recede. So again, this reminds you of the ebb and flow of life's challenges. They just touch you, but then they go away. Touch you, and then they go away. Another one is visualizing success. So this is where you really help to focus on a specific achievement. Keep on visualizing it. Keep on focusing on that achievement every day. Set yourself a mantra and a time when you actually specifically visualize this thing. And this can really help believe that the brain thinks it's possible. And the last one is also visualize coping with a challenging situation. So when you actually visual yourself dealing with situations you find challenging, you can mentally rehearse yourself coping with them. You can go through each scenario. Say, for example, if you're doing a presentation, you can visualize yourself doing the presentation well and doing it all and everything like that. But then you can add specific things where you're, say, worried about heckling or things like that. You can visualize yourself coping with the heckling. If people ask you difficult questions, you can visualize yourself answering awkward questions and dealing with it in a calm, relaxed, confident manner. Um, so there are some examples for you, Ian. I hope you find some of those useful.
What wonderful ideas, and interesting and intriguing and inspiring is well. I feel really relaxed just listening to you talk about it, and clearly an expert in these areas, Wendy. So I wonder if you can just um, tell people if they are interested in some of these ideas. What can they do? Where would they reach out to?
Yes, so I think you make a good point there. Sometimes it takes a little while to work out what works for you and what to practice and everything like that. So often do I do have visualizations that people can download, but also I can help people to create individual into visualizations for whatever sort of challenges they have. So that would be the benefit of going to a therapist. So my website is wendycastellino.com. So you can go to the website or you can just Google me and have informal conversation to see whether I can help you with anything that you need help with. And Ian, would you also like to give your details?
Yeah, so Hope Therapy and Counselling Services is at www.hopeforminds.co.uk. We have a whole variety of downloadable resources on the website. So there's a whole variety of mindfulness practices and relaxation practices that people can just download off of the website. So people are really welcome to go there. If people are interested in working with somebody, we have people in the team that I've experienced it working with a variety of different practices. So again, www.hopeforminds.co.uk. So thank you, Wendy. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will be back shortly. But in the meantime, I just want to um, wish you, Wendy, and everybody listening the absolute best. And thank everybody for listening once again.
Mm. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to you as well, Ian. Thank you very much.